And we're here. Good morning. Let's get this. Just going to give this a quick little wipe. It's looking a little cloudy. How's that? Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited to be here. We're going to hang for a moment and see who is able to join us live as I get to finally share what has been going on in my world. Oh my goodness. So much has been bubbling and I have just been so excited about getting to share this with you finally. I've got a new little camera up here, so I'm just making sure that that's all good. Good morning. Oh, that's so funny. Facebook's so funny. At different times it'll show me that people are here and then other times it won't show me that people are here. We've got beautiful Kerry, beautiful Amanda from Sydney. Awesome. And Christina, so good to have you with me this morning. Trying to send you guys some love. We'll just keep a little eye on here. Anyone else that's jumping on live, let me know where you are this morning. I don't know if you saw, I'm just going to give this another little wipe. I just posted before as I was just sitting and dropping in and feeling into today and building the excitement that I'm sitting in this beautiful room that I have, which is all on the other side where you can't see is all window. And this morning there was a massive rainbow, just a huge, the brightest rainbow I've ever seen. So radiant light is with us. I'm so excited. It was just such a beautiful energy to bring in of the rainbow. It was like, oh my goodness, how good is that? Good morning, Sharon up in Townsville. So good to see you. So much has been bubbling and I have just been waiting and waiting to share this with you in perfect divine timing, of course. There was, days and dates and all of that needed to align for us to launch Creator Unleashed, but it is in the perfect timing and it is still creating as we speak. Good morning, beautiful Gemma. So what is it all about? Well, first I want to share a little bit about how this got created because it's very much the flavor of what Creator Unleashed 7-day Heaven on Earth Collective is all about. Many of you will know that I have been working in a very soul-aligned way for a very long time. Those that don't know you, I'm Rebecca Thompson. I'm the creator of Be a Beacon program for women, an amazing community, and some of you are on here now, an incredible community of women. It's all around feminine empowerment and leadership. And this is something, a business that I have created really through some of the toughest times that we've been in the last couple of years. Has been our massive kind of growth phase. And that has evolved through soul alignment. That was created through soul alignment. And in the last year in particularly, I have been calling in a deeper level of surrender because as my business grows, there feels like sometimes there's more to lose. Do you ever have that feeling that when you have something that you've always kind of wanted to create, you can kind of have that fear around, well, what now? And the mind can start to hijack you in ways that maybe it didn't before. So even though I've created this soul-aligned business and soul-aligned life, I have to say there are times, and there are still sometimes times, when the mind wants to get in the way with its fears and doubts, and it suppresses my creative process. The last year, probably the last 18 months, I have been fully putting myself in situations to encourage me to be able to drop into a greater level of soul surrender than ever before. And what I notice from doing that is a capacity to attract collaborative components into my world to create exactly what I want to create without the stress, the effort, the shoulds, the fears, and the doubts. Right? So if you are over, just keeping an eye on these comments, over getting stuck in your head about how to do things and what step needs to come next and the self-doubt and the self-sabotage that comes with all of that, if you're over all of that, then this is what I've created Unleashed for. It's not about your level of creativity on a, on an artistic level. Although for some of you, you are creatives in that way. And it's a way that I express. I create through art, I create through music, I create through my programs, and they actually all infuse together, because what I've discovered is that the power of my voice, the power of the words, and the power of the art actually create portals to connecting with your creator, connecting with your soul self. And when that happens, there is a powerful healing that occurs and a powerful opening into awakening your highest potential. So you don't have to create art. That might not be where you are. Good morning, Joe. Creating art, creating music, that might not be your thing. But here's the thing. We are all creators. You are a creator. And what happens in this program that we have created here on earth is that we get caught up in controlling outcomes, get caught up in what we think we want, think we should be doing, think what we are told we need to do to create success in A, B, or C. And instead, we get caught up in all of those shoulds and in the pain of that and in the self-judgment and the flagellation and the am I good enough based on someone else's criteria. Well, what if you didn't need to follow anybody else? What if you could just follow your own divine guidance and trust that? Now, I know that a lot of you, good morning, Kylie, a lot of you may have been stepping in and out of this creator place where you are following your soul self at different times. And yet, when it gets a little gnarly, particularly business, relationships, money, right, ideas, action, we hamstring ourselves with doubt. Because what if? What if? Creator Unleashed 7-Day Heaven on Earth Collective is about helping you to be able to stay unwavering in your creator, in your soul self. Because when we get caught up in controller and get caught up in the judgments and the doubt and the fears and the comparisons because we're trying to control an outcome, and that is not how the world works. When you can actually align to creator, you are harnessing, right? You are harnessing the power of the creator. You are harnessing the power of that energy in you, which is an attractive energy, which then brings more ease and abundance into your world, and you get to create with impact. However, there are many different components within all of that, which is the reason why you are not stepping into your creator, because doubts and fears come in. You don't necessarily understand how to hold your energy and how that energy can hijack you. We don't always understand where to sit in our bodies to be able to be the most receptive. We can't get out of our fears where that inspired soul action comes through. So these are all aspects that we're going to bring into 7-Day Heaven on Earth Collective. And I have never done anything quite like this before. This program fully downloaded from source, and I just am running with it. It is still in creation mode, because that is the best way to keep moving, is to do and create at the same time. Right? Not waiting until something's finished, but to do and create at the same time. So this is still moving through. This is still evolving. This is still birthing. But I have a very clear vision and a very clear calling to share these transmissions with you. Because as many of you know, I just came back from the desert a few months ago now. I spent a whole month out there. And the power of soul surrender that I went through there, and the creativity, not just, like I say, through painting and writing, but in the business that has come through, and just in my world, the level of expansion and joy is next level. And I'm being clearly guided to share these activations with you that come through practices, that come through my faith, my voice, my artwork, my presence, that will activate the same in you. These 7 days are going to help you through this collective container that we're creating to change literally the quantum field of your awareness, of your consciousness, to align you with the Creator, so that unlike never before, you will have a sense of fearlessness and excitement about what you want to create, draw in the creative components for what you want to create, and live in a radically different way that is aligned to your soul self and not the program of what anyone else tells you you should be doing, whether it's in your work, whether it's in a business, whether it's in a marketing strategy, whether it's in relationships. You and your soul self is the one that knows what is the highest for you, and the highest for you is the highest for everybody else. That is truth right there. Yeah. So these 7 days, we are going to have an hour each day, about an hour, whatever comes through in Source, in a closed private Facebook group, an hour a day, midday, from the 22nd of the 8th to the 28th of the 8th. All of the information is down in a link below. My beautiful assistant Tina, and just like have a quick hello to Amanda and Natalie that's on here with me. But Tina, if you can pop that link in below, so 22nd of the 8th, 22/8/22, gotta love that, to the 28th, every day we are going to have about an hour where I will be sharing these downloads, these transmissions, connecting fully into Source, and sharing these foundational, powerful practices, as well as awakening within you, your Creator. And I'll be setting you little challenges and stuff along the way, and the combined container of this collective energy has so much power than you trying to do something by itself. Which is why I've created this 7 days. It just came through so clearly. I can't tell you really why from my mind. I'm retro sharing why, right? But what came through was this so clearly. And that's the thing. When I came back from the desert, I had been living soul surrender 100% there. And when I came back, I'm like, I'm never going to step out of this flow, this super flow of surrender to soul again. I am not going to shut down the creative impulses that want to move through, that I can feel the difference between something arising in that source and in that creator than from my mind. And I'm not going to shut that down again. So that is something else I'm going to share with you. What is the difference? How do you know what voice is going on in your head? So when I clearly felt this as an arising impulse that had so much excitement in it and so much juice in it, every little person I'd maybe shared it with was just a few select people could really feel the juice. Every time I tried to sort of tweak or change the title, it was like, nope, it's the 7-Day Heaven on Earth Collective, which sounds a little audacious, but here's the thing. This is exactly what we are here to do. Many of you know I've been teaching yoga for a pretty long time now, and the definition of yoga is divine union. It is union of spirit and matter. That is heaven on earth. That is what we're here to create, to activate your divine potential in this physical body and ground it into the earth. And when we do that collectively, our world starts to change. But it starts with you. It starts with us. And in this collective, we are going to awaken that in a way that we haven't done before. Right? It is going to be so incredibly powerful. So if there is something that you are wanting to birth, great, bring it. If there is a different way that you want to be, and let's just, I think that is the most important thing, because we can get hooked up on what it is we want to create, but maybe that's just coming from the mind. We are going to be diving into, well, what is a true desire? How do we know what's from the mind and what is really a soul self creator energy impulse? So the biggest thing that I want you to bring to this container, this program of 7 days, Creator Unleashed, Heaven on Earth Collective, is a willingness to radically change how you do things. Right? A willingness to radically change how you do things. And I read a quote this morning, which was just so beautiful, from Deepak Chopra. I'm sure many of you know his beautifulness. And he shared, do you want to be a prisoner of the past or a pioneer of the future? A prisoner of the past or a pioneer of the future? And that is exactly what we are talking about here. Do you want to be stuck in the ways that you've been doing things if they're not feeling good for you? And if you've got abundance and joy and peace and you feel creative and you're birthing things and it's juicy, then great. Maybe we can take it even next level here. But if you're feeling like You keep sort of getting stuck in self-doubt. You have great ideas, but then you don't follow them through. Or you don't have any ideas. You've lost connection with your creativity. Or you feel stuck in an avenue that you just know you don't want to be in. Or you feel like you're losing energy in your doing this. Any of those things, then it's time to start doing things in a radically different way, from a radically different place within you. And it is a way that I have achieved the success that I have achieved. It is a way I've been courageously pivoting in my business whenever I need to, because here's the thing. It's all about creating change. So you have to align to the creator within you, because if you don't change, if you don't pivot, if you don't consistently upgrade and up level, you are going to be in pain and discomfort, because the world is expanding. The world is expanding. That is the nature of the world. And so you are expanding. But when you resist that expansion, it's going to hurt. How do we expand? We generally expand through change. Every time I have a big expansion, and coming back from the desert was no different, there is a need to change some things in your world that are no longer aligned to the energy that you were in before. Yeah? So things have to change. Things have to shift, and yet we can get caught up in trying to hold on to things and not want to create change. Right? Because we don't want to risk loss, or we don't think that thing's going to be successful, or we have fears and doubts, so we project into the future. The creator energy doesn't project into the future. It doesn't reference the past, because there's no point in referencing the past, because the past is the past. The past is a manifestation of who you are. Even this sort of present environment is a manifestation of who you were. The creator energy lives in potential. It lives in potential. And so if you can only get caught up in fear around potential in the future, you get anxiety, fear, and it stops you, then you need this. If you are getting stuck and you're not sort of getting forward potential because you're getting stuck in the what is, you really need this to awaken that creative potential, the infinite possibilities, and to be able to stay in it no matter what is going on around you. Oh, let's have a little pause for a moment. I wrote a couple of little notes here. So I'm just going to check in on those and see what else is here. We've got some beauties with us. Will the hour be recorded if I can't be there at the time of the live? Yes, this is the beautiful thing of it, Kylie, because, hey Chantel, because we're going to be doing this Facebook Live in a Facebook group, a private Facebook group. The reason I have done that, or that downloaded for me as well, and afterwards I'm like, why are we doing it in a Facebook group? Number one, it's ease and flow. We're all here on Facebook a lot of the time. Number two, it is instantly available as a replay, right, with nothing to do. So it'll be in the Facebook group, we'll be going on at midday, and you'll be able to access that instantly whenever you want. All right, and then at the end of the 7 days, we'll keep it live for a little bit, then it might get archived. We might move those videos to a membership site, but you'll always be able to access that information. All right, so that is super easy, Kylie, and super perfect for you. Awesome. So let's have a little look. So we are doing a 48-hour special. It is only $33 for today and all of tomorrow, and then it's going to go up to 111 for the rest of the time. So if you want to get in on that like super special price, you've got 48 hours. You've got until my assistant changes it very early Saturday morning to get in at the $33 price, right? Just amazing, amazing, amazing value. I can guarantee that you are going to be a different woman when you step out of that container. Right? And the more you show up in that space, the more you connect in that space and follow through with the little gems that we'll be sharing with you, even more goodness. You are so welcome, Kylie. Beautiful. What else? Oh, yeah, I just, there was another quote that came to me, and it's often in the back of my awareness. Brad Pitt once said, don't know where he said it or to who, and maybe it's not even true, but I don't care, that he feels like if he's not creating, he's dying. And I talk about this, a fair bit with our beacons, that there are these processes that we go through, right? And it's just life. And it is creation, it is sustaining, and it is death, right? And everything in nature goes through this. And so this quote really stayed with me with Brad, because I was like, yeah, you know what? I totally get that. Because, and I'll speak for myself because I'm in business. that when I create something, there's so much energy, there is so much juice there when you are aligned to your creator. And then we sustain it because we're growing it and it's good stuff and we want to keep doing it. But there comes a point where different aspects in your life have to die off at that next level of expansion if they don't allow for expansion. Right? There are some things in your life that will allow for expansion and tweaking and growing and shifting and changing. My Bare Beacon community is like that. Since I started it 3 or 4 years ago, it has grown, it has shifted, it has changed. Women in there, some of the women have been there the whole time and they will say to you, oh my goodness, I hear so much new stuff every time, you're always growing, shifting, changing. They can share that with you on here, those that are in the Beacon community. But there are some things that don't have the capacity to change. And one of those was our Brilliance Without Burnout event, which I've been doing for about 3 years as our intro to our Bare Beacon community. And, you know, it's kind of a little bit of a set program. It's a set thing. It worked really, really well. But as I grow and expand, that energy that I was creating that in is no longer the same energy that I am now in. And there wasn't as much room to grow that as there is with the freedom that I have in our Bare Beacon community and all the different aspects within that program. There's so much more freedom to sort of shift and change that as I grow and expand myself. And so there has to be a new creation coming in. And I could feel this over the last 9 months or so, that I was trying to tweak something, and we all do the same, right? Try and tweak something instead of going, that has to die in order for something else to be created. And there's often the fear that I'm talking about comes in around that, and the self-doubt comes in around that because you had something that worked well. Maybe it's a job that you worked well. Maybe it's a relationship that worked well. And then you start to try and fix it instead of just killing it off, not literally, and creating something new. Right? Some relationships have room for growth and expansion. Some relationships are clearly done, whether it's a friendship or a close relationship, right? Some are for a season, some are for a lifetime. And the ability to know that is actually tapping into source, is tapping into the creator, because she is fearless, right? And she is clear. And if you want to step into your creator and move and create a life that is aligned to your soul self and the highest expression that you can hold right now, then you have to also be prepared to create the change, to pull things out of your life that are no longer serving you. It is part of the process, so that everything around you is coherent with the energy that you're in. So we are going to be going into some goodness all about that as well. Thank you, Christina. Right? So you have 48 hours to jump on in at only $33, and then it'll be going up over the weekend to 111. But registrations will stay open, and we start on the 22nd of August until the 28th of August. Facebook Lives, midday, and a private group that we will invite you into, and all of the goodness will be in there. If you can't attend the lives at midday, no problem, because the replay is going to be pretty much instantly available and you can watch it whenever you want. If you have friends that you think are going to need this, tag them below. Share it wherever you want, this video, or tag people below so that they can, get the juice on this, right? So we can spread it as far as possible, because this is not something that we are doing by ourselves. This is something that we are doing together. We have the capacity right now. We are in an incredible golden age of massive awakening and shifts. And the more we come into these collectives to harness the potential of combined energy, the better. Right? This is why I created a Beacon community. This is why with our Bare Beacons we meet and we have immersions where we dive in together, because the power of that collective energy is more than the sum of its parts. Right? So when 30 people get together, it is way more energy than 30 people. Like, it is magnified like 1,000 times. So this is not just about your healing journey. This is about everybody. But when you show up in your highest, it is the highest for everybody. And that is what we are doing here. So if you want to step into your creator and live a radically different way, out of the shoulds and the contractions and the judgments and the limitations and the doubt of your mind, and into a place which feels free, which feels joyful, which feels easeful, which feels expansive, which attracts the collaborative components that you need to create that thing, then this is most definitely for you, my friend. All right, so jump on in at this $33 price, and I will see you in there on the 22nd. Have an amazing day, everybody. So much love to all of you, and anyone watching the replay, leave us a little message, and we'll see you there. Take care, everyone.